Welcome to my garden. In this video, I'm going to show you what to do when your mature aloe vera plant is not producing pups, how you'll have to report it. As well, I'll show you what to do when your aloe vera plant is producing a lot of pups. Both of these are going to involve reporting the aloe vera plant. It's producing just leaves, many of which look very soft. Some of them are broken, but you still see there are no little plantlets coming out on the sides of this plant. The first issue with this is this aloe vera is in a pot of soil that is too big. It's got too much soil available to it, and so the condition of dryness, like being in the desert region, is no longer available to this plant. So it does not feel the strong need to reproduce at this stage. It's taking its time because there's a lot of water available. When the soil is dry, the plant will grow quicker. So how do we make this happen? We put this plant into a smaller pot of soil. If the pot of soil is smaller, the soil water will dry quicker, and so it feels like it's in the desert condition that is the natural habitat of this aloe vera. The aloe vera now has two tiny pups on their way up, but they look so white and they're taking such a long time because they have not even broken surface. I couldn't see them because they were below soil level. That's why they appear white. I will replant this and make sure it's sticking out of the soil so it starts to get the sun right away and it can turn green. These leaves are buried within the soil and this is too far. The aloe vera plant should only have its roots buried, not the leaves. So I'll cut it on either side and pull it off. There are still more leaves that need to go to give this aloe vera plant the best chance, and this leaf also has to be cut. So I cut the leaf on this other side as well and check to make sure the underground portion of this aloe vera plant is still firm. So the roots are not many, the roots are too few on the underground portion of the stem. What I'm going to do is cut this underground portion that is brown. I'll cut it short when I want to repot it. So I will not repot it today. I need to wait for the leaves that I've taken off and the stem that I cut off to dry. You don't want to cause the aloe vera to rot from those places that you've made a cut. So you wait 72 hours. That is, just wait till the third day and then you go ahead and plant it in the soil. You can see these roots are so thin, they are not able to absorb a lot. That is why this aloe vera plant is just there, it's just surviving, and it's actually struggling to push out these two new pups. But it is lucky because today I'll take off 3 leaves and repot this plant. The soil that I'm going to use for this plant is going to be this grainy sandy soil that this aloe vera plant is well adapted to growing into. When you take a look at the stem, try to make sure it is still hard. If you find any soft parts, that is rot. Look at the leaves. If you see any black portions, that is damage. So you may need to cut off that leaf if it is close to the base. Just take it off and leave about 2, 3, or 4 leaves. The number of leaves that you know they all look more viable, that is, they will be able to survive, rather than putting in the soil a leaf that's already got some black spots on it. It's better to grow your aloe vera and let it look all right so that it can be able to have a higher chance of growing healthy. This soil is just friable. I'll put it into this pot and add eggshells. The eggshells will provide calcium to the plant. This helps the plant roots to grow. Banana peels also very good for this. It helps the plant roots to grow because succulent plants need to have very good roots. So by adding 2 spoonfuls of eggshells to this, it helps to provide calcium to the plant. Now what happens is it takes a long time for these eggshells to actually break down. So it's the eggshells that's just been in the soil because I keep adding eggshells all the time. Put the soil and the plant away and wait for the 3rd day. Now this is the 3rd day and this is the aloe vera, and I've cut that underground stem that's just beside it. I'm going to repot the aloe vera today. I will make sure those 2 white plantlets, the pups that are sticking their heads up, remain above ground. By being underground, that's why they were white. Once they're able to get sunshine, they'll be able to produce chlorophyll and turn green and then carry on growing faster and better. So I put the aloe vera in this pot of soil, which is quite small. I make sure the pups are sticking out and I keep it aside. The little portion of the stem that I have cut off, I put it on its own in the soil. Let the top be sticking out. And then we will be able to see if some little babies grow out of this stem as well. At this stage, do not water because the soil is not yet dry. Wait for 2 days. 2 days from now, water the plants and don't water the stem. That's that stem alone. Let it just be in the dry soil, just like that. And let's see if it has some life in it. It will bring out a little pop. After this, place the aloe vera plant on a windowsill or a place where it's going to receive sunshine. Now I have the aloe vera that has produced a lot of pups. I can bring them out without taking it out of the pot, but at this instance, I want to take a look at the root of this plant. So I place it on its side and bring out the pups from the side. This plant had 5 pups. I've put them up in the pots and they are going to stay indoors. That's why I put them together. If we were in spring or summer now, I put them in separate pots and place them outside. That's not possible now because the weather outside is still very cold. Now taking a look at the mother aloe vera plant, the roots are growing nicely. You can see the roots are firm. They are almost horizontal. They are not just growing downwards. That is how aloe vera roots grow, and they grow quite thick. If you want to compare this to the roots that we found on the first aloe vera plant, you can see that this is actually very different from that other one. This has a whole lot of roots for an aloe vera plant that is not even a year old. So I place both of them on a windowsill and let them remain for 72 hours before I water them. So I water the two mother plants, but I will not water the baby plants yet. I will try and see how they get along, and in about a week I will water them. This is what your aloe vera plant needs. It needs a dry soil condition that is not in pots that are too large. Yes, aloe vera grows in soil outside, but the people ensure that it doesn't get too much rain. And if it's in its natural habitat, which is the desert, naturally it doesn't get too much rain there. So we are just trying to make sure that aloe vera plant does not get too much water, because they suck up the water into their leaves. I hope you can deal with your aloe vera plants that are mature and not producing pups. You just take them out of the pot. You may find that they are already producing pups, but it's just underground. So you repot it and make sure it's showing above ground. So you can get these green pups in a couple of days. Producing pups, they may be underground. Some of them may die, but if you uproot it, you can actually find this aloe vera and try to pot it so that only the roots are below the soil, and the white pups that were struggling will soon turn green. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. That's very welcome and it's free. And see you again in my next video.